Galaxy of Heroes. Just doing my usual posting to some forums and stuff. This morning we're just going to check out what I got for my latest Tier 7 raid. And play a little Galactic War. Actually, we're gonna have a bit of fun with it this morning. We're going to see if we can order the whole thing. I know a lot of people have been wondering if it's possible, so we're gonna try out some teams and see what we can manage. I'm just getting all my stuff up and running here. Good morning. For everyone else, it's probably not morning. It's probably some other time. Out here in Narnia. Alright, wow, so much to do, so much to talk about. There's been a bunch of news come out overnight, actually. I'm looking at this, finally they've addressed the guild hopping thing. Yeah, huh. Limit how much guild bank currency can be earned by a guild in a single 24-hour period. That seems reasonable. Um, and anyway, I'm sure that news will start to circulate, and everyone will soon know about the guild hopping thing being squashed. Right. Where were we? Good morning, Bimasu. Good morning, Panda. Good morning, Kaius. How are you doing? Now, there's a slight problem here. In order to get my raid reward, I will need to reset the client. And if I reset the client, uh, I will be kicked out of the stream. So, we might be able to reset the client. I'm not sure. We can try an online live first, cancelling the game and coming back in. But to start with, I'm going to burn through some energy. It's hard modes, and I've got 25 minutes till our guild payout. So let's go see what hard modes I'm. No, just open guild raid. Okay, cool. I'll do that I'll do my hard modes first. So here's my box. As of late, I got Akbar up and running. I've got that droid caller for him, but kind of reluctant to do phase one. Good morning, Jedi clone. I'm kind of reluctant to take. I took a team into phase one the other day. I knew full well though that I wasn't doing as well as I could do in other phases, and so I backed out. I've still got to gear Ray up. I think that's the main thing, but I cannot, for the life of me, get any furnaces. I just can't. They're just nowhere to be found. I know everyone else seems to be saying they can't get droid callers. I've got about 3, um, but I've had 1 furnace since raids began. Do a little bit of Magna Guard here. Ooh, I got 1. Who else should we do the hard modes for? Oh, I finally took Stormtrooper Hand to 7-star. He's been sitting on 100 or 100 for forever. Oh, we did Chewie's ones. What do you guys reckon about Chewie? Scoundrels coming back up. I don't know. I'm farming his hard mode, just in case. I feel like Chewie should be good. And I've been thinking about this team I want to build, whereby make a very kind of themed team, but it might still work. So like a Scoundrels based team with well, maybe not Scoundrels based, but it could be more of a crit based team with Stormtrooper Han, Leia, Lando, Chewie, and maybe a slightly less themed leader like IG-88 or something. Oh, I'm about to get an ad. Kit Fisto. Earn shards and power up your Jedi. Go to the cantina. We'll go do that in a minute. What was everyone's experience with the Ayla event? Did you get her? Was it worth it? I personally finished the event 2 shards shy of unlocking her. My goal was to unlock her so I could start just gearing her, getting through the early stages of gearing. Chew should be good. Anybody with that much gear should be OP. Yeah, the great thing, I mean, yeah, his purples to get him to 11. Sure, it's a lot, but I don't know. He only needs one piece of raid gear to get to gear 11, which is interesting. You know, I kind of think that any character who can get to 11 has an advantage over those who can't. Um, Simply because once Ugnaught requires like 5 raid pieces, just saying. Yeah, I've noticed this. There's this great chart someone put together in the early days of raids coming out that shows, just 4 columns. How many furnaces, droid callers, Nubian scanners, and Nubian designs each character needs. If you actually go down it, most of the worst characters in the game require the most gear. I remember seeing Ugnaught requires a whole ton of gear. Um, who else was it that requires a whole ton of gear? Eastcoast requires more gear than most. Um, Somewhere around the place, I've got this list, but it's definitely weird how many hugely underpowered characters require tons of gear, and then you got your Chewies that can get to 11 with next to nothing. Ugnaught's worth it. Top 10 character best characters. I am a Giraffe Ritual. What's up? I think I know who you are. Secret Visitor. All right. Done a little bit of Anakin. Just trying to unlock him. What do you reckon about his rework? You reckon he's gonna be good? I don't know. I'm unlocking him just again so I can start to I know it's Greg. Greg. I was just keeping it mysterious for everyone else. I've emailed you at this address many times. Uh oh yeah, we're recording a proper show tonight. Um It'll be in about 12 hours time actually. I've just woken up over here. We've all got to go to work, and then we once we're finished with that, we're gonna get together and record an in-person on the couch show. So got to get my body ready for all the juice. Yeah, but as I was saying, kind of along the same lines that I wanted to unlock Ayla, I want to unlock Jedi Knight Anakin, just so I can start gearing him. And if it does turn out that his rework is really good, I've at least got a little bit of a head start. But what other hard mode should I do before we go and do some other stuff? Everyone's probably thinking, fingers crossed for another after hours video too. Yeah, oh, there probably will be. We'll work something out. Um, right now I'm. Is this milk okay? Only one way to find out. If there's things floating on top of my coffee, it's not okay. It's fine. I knew it was fine. That was a joke. More naked people antics. That's every day for me, Caius. You were just seeing Greg's sheer shock for something I see every day of the week. It's just my really muscular neighbors. They really hate wearing shirts. Um, it's fine though because they're physically attractive. So if they weren't, I'd be like, oh, keep that stuff indoors. Buy some curtains, you freaks. But I just, who doesn't like looking at lovely people? Uh, that's how candy works. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I just had candy in my letterbox. I do not understand. Maybe Greg was right. It's just so he has a ton of curtains he doesn't use. He doesn't even know where the curtain shop is, which is strange because out where we live, there's curtain shops everywhere. All right. Anyway, enough looking around my box. Let's see what I got from the raid. Ooh, I got a fully crafted scanner. Fancy that. It's like my sixth one, but I got 250k credits. That's nice. A couple of these guys I don't particularly need. I will take that. That's my first fully crafted piece in several raids. And that is also going to be Qui-Gon Jinn going to Gear 11, I think. I'm going to double check who needs scanners. So I've got a droid caller and I've got a scanner. Still don't have the furnace. I need one for IG-86. I need one for IG-88. I need two for Rey. I just cannot get a scanner for the life of me. And I have so many people who need it. I'm 21 to 50, and that is from every raid I've ever done. I repeat, every raid I've ever done. 21 out of 50. That's something like, let's see how many raids that is. I guess that doesn't really count. Or I dread to open my arena and see where I fell overnight. Oh, only to 12. That's quite pleasant. Um, what? It's not. Why don't you make 10 louder? It's kind of not the point. Yeah, as you can see, raids 1, 30. Let's say the first 5 of those were tier 6. 25 raids, 1 furnace. Not fair. Though, I guess I'm not suffering from the, take it easy, Greg. Yeah, Greg's probably got to do them jobs things. Anyway, if anyone is a part of my guild, they've heard me whinging about the fact that I never get furnaces, but the struggle is real. And they never show up in my shipments anymore because I I, I passed on buying several. I passed on buying several, and then of course now I would pay 2,000 crystals for them. Not that I have 2,000 crystals, and nor do I ever have 2,000 crystals. I should probably get my scanner. That's how I'll see it. If I can give it to Qui-Gon, give it to Yoda. It's probably going to Qui-Gon. Let's be honest. Um, I think I'm almost at enough to build one as well. 38 of 80. So I'll have another one once the next time the raid drops me those pieces. So let's give it to Qui-Gon, and we can take him to 11. Oh, this is the NCAP. So when you get a high level, do you get crystals more frequently? Yeah. So the way that the most reliable source of crystals is from here in the arena. Um, Sorry, you're just seeing me doing my like morning caretaking on my account. It must be really boring to watch. I'm just going around and gearing and looking at what I need for today, checking the challenges. But yeah, it's the crystals you get are based on your squad arena rank, right? So I normally aim to finish first most days, giving me 500. Some days it's second or third if I can't get to my phone because I have a very aggressive player on my same payout. So unless I'm right there at yes, Arena gives a lot more than Galactic War. And the good thing about Galactic War is it's reliable. If you have teams you know you can beat Galactic War with, you you can guarantee yourself those crystals every day. But yeah, if you can get higher up the rank on here, you would definitely get more crystals. I mean, it starts to ramp up significantly once you can make a top 50 team. Um, down here you're getting dust, really, crystal dust. And I wait 10 minutes for challenges. That's a very good point. I wasn't going to do any challenges because that's no fun for anyone to see. But yeah, so as you can see from this reward list here, once you make top 10, it's big money. Like anyone in anywhere in the top 10. It's a bit early. Haven't had enough coffee. Anywhere in the top 10, you should be happy. Um, First is nice, but really I have no problem coming second. As I say, I have a very aggressive chaps in the house. What's up, chaps? Um, I have a very aggressive player on my server who, if I am not there right on the money, trying to take first and time it just to perfection, I will get sniped. So what I often do is he kind of respects my uh, ability. He respects my claim to the second place. So what I'll do is I'll work around him. I never bump him down, and he never bumps me down, and we seem to have worked out a kind of truce. And then it's best man wins for first place. But if I'm in second and he's in fifth, he'll never bump me to second and then wait and take first. He'll just leapfrog straight to first, and so I can fairly comfortably leave my team in second for 15 or 20 minutes without any real threat of being bumped. But if I go to first, I can expect to get bumped. So it's 500 or 450 crystals a day, so you can sustain a high level free to play account on that income. You're never going to be rolling with the really big boys, but yeah, work on your arena team above anything else would be my advice, NCampy. Yeah, as your arena team is pulling in the money, you can start to focus on raid teams or whatever. But just look at those tier rewards for the raid and slowly try to bring yourself into the highest one you can manage with the characters you've got. Anyway, what I was going to do today is something a bit different. I've got 2 Galactic Wars to do, but I promise. Scout's honor is that's not what you do. If I do that when I promise, that means I don't mean it. Scout's honor. I know it's never a scout, but I've auto run these first 2 levels, and we're gonna see if this team can auto the entirety of Galactic War. Now, even if I lose, not this team, that's a mistake. Um, Even if I lose, I am going to auto run this because I'm staying true to the cause. So let's go. What do we got in the chat here? Finally got Gear 10 RG. Panda, he's a beast. I use him in my arena team, and I don't know why. Yeah, he's just an absolute monster. Takes so long to get through. He really makes my droids team tick. Finally got B2 to Gear 10 today. So good. Yeah. In fact, that's the only person I think in the game who I would consider replacing Royal Guard with on my arena team at the moment. That B2 is a absolute monster. There's a problem with having a beard and drinking coffee live on air, is that there's always the chance you spend 5 minutes talking with a little frothy double moustache. He runs B2 and RG. Well, chaps, you're just mean, and no one likes you. I'm joking. I like you, but that's ugly. What else do you run? Tell me about your B2 team while we watch my early level arena battles auto themselves out. I did this yesterday, and I actually lost on the last node, which is quite embarrassing, but I was just testing to see if I could do it. I met a full Ewoks team with like maxed out, fully geared Ewoks and double taunt on the last node, and it wrecked all of my remaining characters, including my A team. It was it was weird. Phasma, Lead, Rey, Qui-Gon Jinn, B2, RG. I can see that being pretty ugly. I can see that being very ugly indeed. Yeah, there's been a lot of people having struggles with B2 lately, and I can understand why. That guy is a beast. But I really do think, chaps, if you've got your B2 up and running, get farming those droids, because out of droids, it's really quite a thing, because you're essentially guaranteeing that he goes before any team in the game. And really the only way you can deal with B2 is if you ability block him before he can, do his silly AoE and really negate all of your characters. You put him in a droids team, you don't even get the chance to do that unless you too are running a droids team. And we were talking about this the other day because Danny from Ritual Gaming has one on his server running full droids and B2, and Danny runs full droids but doesn't have B2 because we are, like we say, we're free to play players. Um, and we're just devising ways that he can beat that guy because he really has to rely on luck at the moment. Um, at the moment, he has the benefit that his JE is much higher geared than his opponent's JE, and that often gives him the chance to. But his opponent has an extra droid, which Danny doesn't have. So we suggested getting Magna Guard up to speed so that you just guarantee you go before him. But then you reached the situation that we had a long, long time ago. If you were playing the game, you'll remember it when it was Poe versus Poe. Whose Poe went first wins the game, and you would wind up eventually once the gear race is over with the same situation. It would be JE versus JE, see whose pops first, which would be ugly. How are we doing? I'm not even looking down here. Let's have a look at what the it's always interesting to see what the AI decides is a good idea. Like the fact that it hasn't attacked Daka yet at all, which could lead to a really fun, like, revive the entire team situation. Because Daka's getting some turns off. Oh, look at that. Lumi back twice. This is going to be fun. We could get a full team revive here. Oh, oh no, we got the stun. Han wins against JE. In what situation? In an Akbar team? So let's have a look at what do you reckon? I'm not going to cheat and even select cheat. Who am I cheating? I'd only be cheating myself. Raid Han. Yes, Raid Han wins against JE. That's true. In about 6 months, when people have 7-star Raid Hands, the droids team won't work as effectively anymore. I don't think Raid Hands are going to be a concern on servers for quite a while. That's why I'm working on other teams at the moment that can work around it. But for now, I don't see any, and I don't think it will anytime soon. Only very, very heavy players are really starting to get them up to 6 stars now. And how many servers are going to have those? It's kind of like actually, I was talking to Panda the other day about how the droid B2 teams are really devastating, and that the droid meta is going to take over everything. And I really don't think it's too much of a concern, just because the most you're really going to find is if your server has maybe 4 or 5 people who have B2 at all. Now, if all 4 or 5 of those people are at your payout, all right, you're super unlucky. But really, any super premium character, you never really need to concern yourself too with. The people that have it, it's great for them. If one of those is at your payout, bit of a bummer. You might have to settle for second for a while if you really can't beat that team, which isn't the end of the world. But yeah, as long as characters remain Chromium only, you should never really be worried about them, if you ask me. Like I say, I've been free to play all this time, and I've never had a time in the meta where I wasn't able to take first on a fairly regular basis, regardless of the teams around me. Just because I might have one guy, like at the moment, the guy who's at my payout has a much better team, and he's a very high, he's got a maxed out account with pretty much every character going. And if I can't beat him, I'll settle for second. If I had 10 people at my payout, all with super maxed high spend accounts, sure. But I don't know, is that the case for other people? Because it's certainly not the case on mine or anyone else I know. Anyone out there got a team where, got a server, a shard, whatever you want to call it, where everyone in the top 10 is super pay-to-play accounts with crazy Rex teams and B2s and all of this stuff all over the place? Let us know in the comments. Han's a different story, though. Of course, he is not going to be a P2P player, team. He's going to come from the raid, so that's just a matter of time. which, as a free to play, I've got to start planning now for what I'm going to do about that. So I've got some plans in the work, teams I'm building for the future. But I think by the time ham becomes an issue, I should be able to build some other. Has anyone had a good drop rate on droid callers in shipments? Yeah, I've bought two. And I've seen three. I didn't buy the third one. Um, because I realized after buying the second one that I don't have anyone that actually needs them. Noodles. I saw my first one today. Oh, tough luck, because I remember you were you one of the people complaining that you never see them? Two for chaps. So you've had some good luck too. Yeah, I was interested to hear so many people El Guapo getting really mad. Need one for Akbar. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised at the people that are getting so angry about droid callers, and it seems to be a common thing. I'm not saying they are wrong. They're probably right, and I'm just lucky. But out of all of the required gear, the raid farmable gear only, the number of characters that need droid callers is something like 40. You need 44 or something. It's 40 something droid callers to be able to max out every character in the game. Whereas for all of the other things, it's a number in the 60s. So the scanners, the furnaces, and the Nubian design, they're all in the 60s what you require to max out every character in the game. So essentially, if you wanted to max out every character in the game, you need 20 less droid callers than you need every other thing. So maybe that means they've nerfed the drop rate to reflect the requirements, or maybe it's just one of those strange twists of RNG where everyone's found themselves short. Because I certainly haven't. I've had two from the raid, and I've bought two, and I'm on my way to being able to build another one. I kind of feel how people feel about scanners. Oh, I started playing. No. And I took my focus off of Chewie. I've ruined the entire run. This is supposed to be pure auto. My brain took over while I was oh well. I love that when did you see, you might have noticed back there when GS gets hit and attacks directly after, he kind of shoots as he's swinging his gun back up to fire position. They probably nerfed the drop rates in shipments to increase the amount of times people refresh. Yeah, I would agree if everyone didn't need different things. I mean, I'd certainly say that the raid farmable stuff is has a lower appearance rate than the non-raid farmable stuff, and that seems fair enough. Um, but I don't think it's in favor of furnaces or in favor of droid callers, as a few people have suggested. I think it's probably just a trick of the mind. Kind of like how it always feels like when you're on 49 of 50 of some farmable material, you have to do like 3 refreshes to get the last one. Actually, a lot of the time it isn't like that. It's just the times where it is. You get so angry, your mind just remembers all the times it didn't happen. I saw a lot of furnaces earlier on in the game and didn't buy them, and now I don't see any. And I don't think there's some insidious drop rate tweaking going on in the background all that much. No more than they're entitled to anyway. All right, back to ordering. Let's see. Let's see if my guys decide that Daka isn't worth killing, and they troll me with the fake droid callers all the time. Yeah, the 300 crystal ones. Yeah, I get that with the Nubian design because I need so many Nubian designs, and they put the Mark 5 in there, and and of course it's the Mark 6. Furnaces aren't available right now in shipments. Okay, so they swapped them out for droid callers. That's a bummer. I should have got them when they were hot. That's all I need. It's a whole stack of furnaces. Yeah, look, we're leaving Daka till last. This is. Oh no, okay. We're going for Daka now. The AI does some really questionable things, and it makes me wonder about what my team gets up to when I'm not looking. It's like those videos you see online where people show their cats while they're and their dogs while they're out at work and they're all running around the house and just like rubbing their buttholes on things and stuff. I feel like that's what my team get up to while I'm at work. Just people come in to fight them and they just all roll on their back and spread their legs. It's a dog reference, okay? I'm not being a misogynist. Besides, my guys are all robots. We got nothing to show down there. Apart from JE. What's the consensus on Jawas? Whole race of hermaphrodites? What's the deal with them? All right, well we're on the last three nodes through autoing. This is where it's going to get hairy. So let's see. I think that's what my wife does while I'm at work. Just rub her butthole on things. I don't know. Some people are probably into that. All right, we got. This is a weird team, hey? It looks like a normal team, but then they just threw Akbar in there. Dak has been stunning a lot, huh? Okay, we go for Dooku first. That's interesting. Considering Dak is stun stuck, that's actually a pretty good choice. If we can get him down, that is. No. All right, here we go. This is where we're going to start to lose characters. Oh well, we got Dooku out of the way. He's actually probably the biggest threat on this team, really. Phasma next, I would say. But we're going Akbar, just because we don't want him to heal. I don't know. Who next? Ahsoka. It is really remarkably fast if you order Galactic War. It's quite good. Um, the only real bummer is if what I do is I auto it while I'm not looking at my phone a lot of the time, and come back and just some crucial part of the team has died just because of an odd round against a weird team. This is going well. Might get a full auto clear. Apart from that one game where I targeted Sid, but oh well. I think we probably still would have won anyway. That was quite early on. Now's where I'm going to start to lose people. Here we go. A kind of a proper team, though with a Savage lead. Speaking of planning for the future, we got Han on the horizon. He's going to start showing up. What's everyone? Han is gonna make a lot of teams not tick that well, but it begs another question. So, sure, Han will beat droids, but then what do you put Han in? Because great, you can't just. I really don't want Han to be another one of these kind of like I just shoehorn it into teams with no synergy. So I guess I forget what his if anyone has access to a computer, I don't like typing because I have to be like this. Um, but now I'll look it up. Let's have. I forgot what his factions are. So let's get Han up on screen. Alright, so he's a rebel and a scoundrel. Yeah, that makes sense. I was just wondering if they'd give him both rebel and scoundrel or just scoundrel. Um, Old Ben, OG Han, Ray, RG, rebel scoundrel. Yeah, I'd like to run him out of. It'd be nice to not run him out of one of those old Ben, just like good stuff teams, but it'll wind up happening, won't it? Be cool to see people do some clever team building with him. Wonder where it would fit out of an actual rebel team or out of an actual scoundrel team. But the old Ben team looks like it's solid because we all know that team works. I'm interested in him. I'm looking at some like crit based builds at the moment, which I think could be quite fun. I've talked about it a few times. IG88 lead, and and just basing it on around getting crits and Han definitely synergizes well with critical hits. So my thinking is it could be quite a laugh to have like oh there goes RG finally. Um, And he's back. And he's at full health. That's nice. Akbar, yeah. Out of I wonder if they'll ban you from having two hands in one team. I'm building towards the Akbar build personally, because I like the fact that it uses faction synergy. I like themed teams that make sense, which is why I'm kind of reluctant to put two hands in one team, uh, because, well, for the obvious break in the space-time continuum it's going to cause when you have the same person twice in a team. That was quite a lucky little run of events there with the Daka RG revive. That's one of the ugliest things that can happen. Just full health RG from the grave. Here we are on the last stage. So as you can see, this team works pretty well to auto Galactic War. It obviously doesn't work every time, and when the AI decides that they should give one a goatee like the Super Friends, the Super Friends doubles. Yeah, they should. And give another one EMP. So here's where my team crumbles to dust because it decided that Phasma was more important than GS, Qui-Gon Jinn, or Rey to target, which makes sense. Let's go to Lumi now because none of those other guys are a threat. The AI is really dumb. Imagine if this was an arena match and that's what it decided to do with itself. You would be laughing. You'd also be really dumb to take my Galactic War team into arena, but not the point. Surely they know that Genosian Soldier and Rey cannot be suffered to live. So we finally lose a team on the last node. So what should we take in next? Definitely not that. Um, let's just take droids in because they're pretty quick and just finish things off really nicely. Haven't used my Phasma yet. Actually, let's try something else. Let's go for a dots team. There's not going to be much time to trigger any of these dots because of the fact that there's only 3 guys left. I'm in kit. What would I run it? As we said we would. There's dots everywhere. Oh wow, she gives a dot for every hit she does. So when she does the flurry of blows, she would do 3 damage over time. So that's quite cool. Oh, Team Skunk Kit. Okay, got it. I was thinking Kit Fisto. What's up, Full Disc? And then we have it. A fairly breezy auto run of Galactic War. It's really that Barris team that makes it possible. I'll put it back up on screen and we can just talk a little bit about why it works. Obviously, experienced players might find this a bit child's play, but yeah, you can see my Barris is actually very low level, 71. I haven't found the need to invest any more in her than that. My Daka is 74. I can actually gear her up as well. Take her to gear level 9 at the expense of 1 droid caller, but I'm not. Who else was in there? We had GS for obvious reasons, Qui-Gon Jinn, and RG. Saw your message in Discord and thought I'd check this out. Well, thanks for coming along. The more people we have on board hanging out, the more fun it is, the more questions I get, because otherwise it's just me talking to myself like a lunatic. My neighbors probably think I am out of my mind. And then later on they'll just hate me because I'll have Danny and Greg in here and we get really loud once we've had some juice. We start shouting about Galactic War characters and they probably just think a bunch of lunatics. Grand Patron himself gave Kit its name. Yeah, I missed that guy already. I hope he's all good. Juice. Yeah, it's juice. We're keeping it PG here. We just have some juice. It's got a bit too much higher of a sugar content, and we get a little bit loopy, a little bit excited. And they take their clothes off and parade in front of the window, so everyone wins. Well, what we generally are trying to do. It's it, you watch like nature documentaries where animals, posture up and try to like gain mates. Well, that's basically me, Greg, and Danny. We just ram our heads together and then hope that some girls will see us and think that we're really sexy, and then they don't. So we talk about Star Wars. These guys got me started in the game, then found TS. Hey, that is cool. It seems like you're really pulling your weight over at Team Skunk at the moment as well too. I see you doing a lot of coordination for the guild, so good on you for going in feet first. We're too lazy for that kind of thing. Technically, I'm a guild officer of Team Omega. All the other guys do so much more than me. I just make silly videos. In terms of organizing the actual guild, those guys, White Room and Bimasu, Donkeysaurus, everyone, they do a lot more for the game and for the guild than me. But back to this team and why does it work? So Barris just heals everyone. Her leader skill just heals everyone at the beginning of their turn, and this works really well with all of her skills are just all about healing. She's just a heal beast. She just heals everything. She does that equalizing heal, as you saw at the end there, where RG was dead, then came back and had a little slither of health. Everyone else was on full health, so it just went whoosh, straight up to full. It's pretty amazing. And her attack heals as well. So that's why she's the leader. Then we've got Daka. Daka is another healer who stuns and can revive. So as you saw when RG went down, Daka brought him back. Everybody in Omega is important. We are a family. This is true. I really love all the guys from our guild, but my comment was more just at the leadership there, because if Omega's a family, then those guys are the mummy and daddies, keeping everyone from squabbling and fighting and beating each other up, and yeah, they do a really good job. And I would count myself in amongst them, but really, I don't do half as much coordination and everything as everyone else, so I don't feel like I really pull my weight. Did everyone hear the news about Team Psy? Yeah, I did. I don't really want to talk about it too much on the stream. Get too much into guild politics. It's all a bit silly if you ask me. But yeah. Weird Uncle Guapo. Yeah, it is weird Uncle. It is weird Uncle Guapo. If we were a family, Guapo would be the drunk uncle. You're like fun uncle, but then you just transition into weird uncle after too much moonshine. Um, yep. Then we got GS. GS is just a great attacker. Oops, bye GS. Welcome back. GS is just a great attacker. When you Omega his assist ability, it gets a really low cooldown. And he has a chance to reset his own turn meter, so he gets more attacks off. He just shreds people. Qui-Gon Jinn is just probably one of the best all-round characters in the game. He attacks decently when he's geared up. He's pretty beefy. He removes taunt. He removes turn meter. He removes buffs. He's great. There's not a single one. Oh, and his assist heals as well, so that helps. And then there's big old RG backing everyone up. So when someone starts to go low, RG gets in the way, eats all the damage, while Daka and Barris do heal everyone back up again. You're saying Omega the Unique on GS? Yeah, I will, but I've got other guys that that need the love first, and as you can see, I've only got one. The Unique is very cool. I'll get even more turn meter when scoring a crit, and it's also why I'm considering GS for my dot crit team, because of this particular skill. So I will get to him eventually, and he will be getting my next. Well, My next one will go to JE. Then it's Genosian Soldier. He'll be great for a IG88 led crit dot team because he's given himself turn meter. He'll be a great DPS character for that. I will get around to Omegaing that. At the moment, I'm getting Ray up because I use her in the raids, and as you can see, my team can auto run with GS just the way he is. So what should we do? Listen to Panda the Wise. Dot Fiesta, yeah, Aguapa, that's what I'm going for. And I know, the more characters, the more you look around, the more characters you find who slide nicely into that. GS is going to be a beast for that. And for that I'm excited. I was looking at 86, but I think out of I got rank 17. Some guild credits. I've probably got quite a lot of those things. Let's go see how many I've got. 1850. Why don't we go do the event? Let's go do that. And then we can do a couple of arena battles. Kit Fisto. Let's make a dot team to do the event. Oh no, we can't really do that because 88 is dark side. It's light side only. What are you guys thinking about these events? I think it's really good. I know they drop JC a lot. Everyone seems to be focusing on. Well, a lot of people seem to be focusing. They're like, oh, it's the Jedi Consular event. It just drops JC shards the whole time. But I mean, if I didn't have a 7-star JC, I'd be pretty happy with that. And it drops. I've had runs. I had a run the other day of the Ayla one that just finished, wherein I got something like 560,000 credits. So, that alone is worth a 75 crystal refresh if you ask me. The actual credit machine that costs way more than that sometimes only gives that amount. What do we got? Farm them for purple mats. Use full Jedi team for the event like the Yoda event. Yeah, I just put Rey in because she's Rey. She's better than everything else in the game in any team you ever build. So, yeah. I only recently got on the Rey train. I've been resisting because I think she's a bit of a stupid character. But I don't mind her for PvE stuff where no one suffers as a result of her terrible design. Yep, she is nasty, and I think she's still pretty imbalanced. You know, there's barely a team build that anyone comes up with where they don't just go put Rey in there. And whenever that's the case, for me a character is a bit broken. You don't incentivize in any way actual team building. Oops, bye Barris. Droids, yeah, exactly. That's a team, and they kick butt. When they're a team, they suck on their own. That's what characters should be. The B2 may be a little imbalanced, as you're saying before. You can really shoehorn him into any team, and he'll do work. There are ways to deal with him, but yeah, he might be a little bit on the OP side. I don't know, as I only face 2 or 3 in my arena. I usually don't have too much trouble dispatching them. Though when he does get off, it's just like crawling through mud. It's interesting. The reason I do kind of have a bit of time for B2 is because he allows some interesting builds, um, like control builds where you get to really play the game at your tempo and give the opponent the reason control teams aren't that appealing in the current game is that the AI is so dumb you don't really need them. Um, but in proper PvP games where you actually play against a person, not a computer playing as that person, control teams are one of my favorites because they're very frustrating to play against, but they require a lot of like careful planning and tactics. And I've always been drawn to those types of teams. And it's always been sad to me that you can't really build them in this game because well, let's do this anyway, even though I don't have the thingy up. Rebels with Rey is pretty fast. Yeah, it is. It is. Rebels with Rey is that, but that's again what I'm talking about. You know, surely you would want to put a rebel in that last slot to make it an actual rebel team, but no, Rey's so good, you just forego the point of putting in a rebel to. Hey, look at that! Got some Fisto shards. Only blue mats, but 108k. Can't complain about that. I've harped on about Rey long enough. Everyone's sick of it, but I think that it stands to reason that the irony of Rey is that the only team she doesn't make viable is a resistance team, which is her actual faction. Maybe they should look at that instead of bringing in new characters. I wonder when a resistance team will ever be viable, and well, maybe when there's more than five resistance characters, or maybe if Finn ever gets a rework. There's a guy who could use a little bit of love, huh? Poor Finn. He really sucks. Anyone out there farm Finn? Because, man, talk about a character that does everything and nothing at the same time. First Order, are they good at all? I think First Order teams are okay. Obviously, you're not seeing them at the highest level at the moment. They need a they need a few more characters, perhaps, or a little bit of a work. You know, you've got a really solid base, and then you start filling in spaces with things like First Order officer and things like that, and they're really kind of underwhelming characters that don't do a great deal. Um, and Finn is good at level 30 to 50. I used him. Oh, that's cool. I mean, I still don't know if that makes him a good character that you can use him for 20 levels at the beginning of the game. Um, but it's cool that you got some use out of him at least. I mean, I luckily was never really drawn to him, but I can just imagine someone. I feel there's a couple of characters like that where if you just played this game, and this isn't a complaint about the game, I like the fact that some weird no-name characters. Where can you get Finn? He has a couple of hard modes, or maybe one hard mode, and in Cantina is where you're going to find him. He's got a couple of Cantina levels. Bimasu just to resolve things says, "Oh no, he sucks," but it really helped early in the game. Yeah, um, yeah, I can see that because he was nice and beefy and he does decent damage. He's exposing people and stuff. But I think in general, yeah, poor Finn. He needs a bit of love. Maybe if they do a big rework on him, resistance teams might be a thing. Because I like Poe as a character. They nerfed him for good reason. If you're newer to the game, you won't remember a time where Poe was the game. Um, there's Rey being balanced there. Got distracted by Discord, but this is so late. Sorry, thanks for your. Oh yeah, yeah, way back. I was saying, Caius seems to be doing a lot of help at the Team Skunk alliances or guilds rather, um, getting people organized into guilds. There's a lot of guilds over there, and it takes a lot of work. And people like that deserve some props because otherwise you'd be even more of a chaotic mess than it kind of already is. But it's it's definitely an achievement to just have that many people organized into tiers, and obviously there's some grumbles and gripes in there because it's what happens when you get a bunch of nerds together. Um, but I think overall it's pretty impressive just to have so many guilds under one banner all working towards, well, not a lot really because there's no rewards for being a good guild, but at least towards getting our gear, and it's really fun. You know, my favorite part of having a huge roster of people to call on has been one player on my server, Hungry Eyes. I mentioned earlier that I have one very aggressive player at my payout, and whenever Hungry Eyes is available, he'll send me a message on Discord and just say, "What time do you want me to lock him down?" And now we've just got it to a routine. If he's online, it's not always because of time differences and work and stuff. He can't always do it, but whenever he does, he just says, "All right, got him locked down. Go take first." And those days, I definitely get first because the poor guy, at the moment, he thinks he's coming in for the snipe. He's not only locked down in battle, but also probably finishing the day in fifth because Hungry Eyes has got a pretty good team and doesn't often lose. After Yoda, I'm going for a first order team. I think first order teams, um, yeah, there's a little bit of merit there. They could be pretty good. I think a couple of the characters need a little tweak before they can be superstars, but it wouldn't be the worst thing to go for a first order team. Let's see what we get from our last run of this, and maybe we'll go do arena battle. I don't really need to do any arena battles, but if I'm already in the top 15, I can show you what's going on my server and what teams I'm facing up against a lot. Oh wow, got an ability block on Qui-Gon here. Oh, we're on the lowest. We're on the lowest tier. That's why. In the highest tier, I feel like it's nearly impossible to get status effects onto these last bosses. They've got just super high tenacity. FOTP needs 3 furnaces though. Yeah, and you need to get FOTP. Five mats and the JC shard. Yeah, anything that needs a lot of gear is just not a pretty prospect. Let's go see. I got one extra shard shop thing. Any Darth Vader today? No. So Mob Enforcer, huh? I have 12,000 Cantina credits because I just don't want anyone in here. I wonder if Mob Enforcer might get a bit better with Zam Wessel coming out. Zam Wessel, for those who don't know, being the new Chromium only character, is a scoundrel, has a really interesting kit, but amongst the interesting kit is the ability to detonate thermal detonators. Where are you? Not Zam, we're looking for Mob Enforcer. And Mob Enforcer has a skill that's just called Thermal Detonator. This is probably the reason why that is just the most boring special skill imaginable. Defense down. Yeah, this character just sucks, don't they? Maybe, but I don't know that Mob Enforcer does anything. Hey, it's up, Danny. Go for Tano. Yeah, so oh, my cousin pulled Zam last night. I think Zam's going to be really good, and I want to start building some scoundrel teams. Uh, it's just such a hard farm, you know, from scoundrels being useless to being good. We've had plenty of heads up if they do get good. And actually, spoiler, a little teaser rather for tonight's Ritual Gaming, you know, full on the couch podcast is we will be talking exclusively about scoundrels this week. Um, we're really going to give a good rundown of all of them, and and which ones we think are going to be seen in the future, and which ones we think still are going to be lying at the bottom of the heap. No, I won't be going for Tano. I won't be going for fives either. I'm holding out. Um, I'm just waiting to see. I feel like we're so long overdue a new Cantina character, and I've heard mumblings that Dengar's going to go in here, and based on my calculations, you need about this many credits to just fully unlock a character. I can't remember what it was, but it's something. You need 200 shards to get a character, and then if you divide that by 5, which is how much you get in a shipment, you got 40. And if you pay 400 for each of those, you need 16,000 Cantina. My maths is probably off, but if you got 16,000 Cantina credits, you get a full character. And so I'm just putting myself in a position where if the new character comes out, the Galactic War grind isn't as long as it usually is. Pardon me. No one wanted to hear that. Right, anyway, let's do some playing. But you need like 350 shards. Is it 350 shards? Oh, of course, sorry, 350. Then it's 2200. So I'm halfway there, but I'll be getting them at the yeah, I don't why I said 200. I was thinking for once you get someone unlocked to 4-star, it's 200, 250. Either way, it's not too bad if you've got 15,000 in the bank when the character shows up. $26, $28, whatever it is. Anyway, let's go have a fight. Look at this interesting, fresh assortment of team builds. Oh, this is Sam. That's my nemesis. He's running Ben lead now. He usually runs a Rex lead with some other stuff. Yeah, so 26,000. I remember that was what I calculated the other day, and for some reason my brain just took a fart there and told me it was 200. But I just remember thinking if I'm halfway there, because usually the thing about farming a Cantina character is you're so far behind, you're just basically waiting to get to 400 and then immediately spend it. Wait to get to 400 and immediately spend it. Figure if I've got a 50% head start, I can just cruise through to the full character at the fastest speed. And then if they suck, I can cruise through to some other character at the same speed. So it's Ben or Dooku. Lots of hands, lots of rays. And like I say, anyone thinks Ray is balanced. Just look at your top 10 in Arena, and you will be reminded that no balanced character would be in 15 teams. 20, I think it's top 25 of my Arena. Pretty much every team runs Ray. RG being another one of those. I run RG, to be fair. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying, it's incentivized so heavily. Why wouldn't you? What's the highest I can get? 8? This team in 9th is interesting. Yeah, 26,400. Let's go for this team in 8th. Why not? Just for the lols. Here's my Arena team. Pretty standard droids build. Using RG because I don't have B2. I sometimes use Magna Guard if I need the extra speed. So you've got a Magna Guard down here somewhere. He's only 6-star at the moment. But he helps me to beat rebel teams that are fast, and the rest of it just ticks over like clockwork. Full disc has got some maths on the screen. That's the number I've got on my little calculator here, but I've stopped caring. It's somewhere in that region, and I'll be fine. Alright, so with these double taunt teams, You really want to hope for the ability block here. We don't get them, but we do get defense down on Rey, so this is going to be interesting. IG-88 hits pretty hard. If this goes below 50%, I will be sad. If not, we can probably take out Rey. And then as soon as Rey goes out on these double taunt Ben teams, you've won, because they just don't possess the DPS through the remaining 4 characters. The great thing about teams that run imbalanced characters is if you can deal with them, the team has nothing. Alright, perfect. Don't dodge. There we go. So Rey's dead, and then now this team can't do anything because they could wail on me all day and they wouldn't win. I don't want to slow hand down and the defense up. A little detonator for you there, Han. Oh, resisted. There's a surprise. So yeah, I think these Ben Ray teams, as soon as faster teams start to come out, they will start to fall off the map, because with Leia it's a little bit more of a concern, because obviously Leia does offer a level of damage that is scary. But generally speaking, if you can take out Rey before they attack, you can see like these guys have attacked me like many times and can't do any damage. I'm glad Qui-Gon doesn't do any more damage than he does, because he's already such a great character. I think he would be a little bit broke if he could dish out crazy amounts of damage. Alright, down you go. And the great thing is now I've triggered... oh, RG went off, but here we go. We've got Qui-Gon. I don't know why they're attacking Royal Guard. I mean, this is what we're talking about, AI being just so dumb. They're just wailing on my Royal Guard. He's not even up. We'll pop that on Ben. Dodged. Now they're going for who they should be going for. Hopefully we'll stun him here. Dodged. Is Rey's second special 3 separate attacks or just 1? I just started using her. It's 3 combined. And it's kind of what breaks her as a character, because she usually does it from behind foresight, which also increases the power of it. This grenade is so great against Jedis. The Meatbag Mayhem grenade. Look at poor Qui-Gon. He's just going to die. I hope I can kill him with that grenade. That could be quite fun. The heal... block is probably one of the unsung heroes of IG-88. When you get that on a character, they don't get their health steal, and that allows you to just really go to town. We can order the rest of this, so we don't run out of time. But yeah, as you can see, if Rey is dealt with, the team crumbles to dust. 5 men standing. So I guess that is the good thing about Rey. If you do have a way of dealing with her, many team builds lean so heavily on her that that they're actually kind of useless once she's dead, and because they don't build particularly balanced teams. And with Ben, you sacrifice well, any kind of interesting synergy in replacement for RNG. So yeah, if you get a bad dodge, sometimes you lose, but you know, when you've got 10 battles to get to first, you can just fight that guy again and you'll win the second time. And teams like this one here in 4th, they're interesting too, because they've got the extra DPS in, but then once you've got the extra DPS in, you don't have room for Han, and so you can't protect Rey as well, because really Han is what makes Rey extra double annoying. Then you see Hungry Eyes down there in 6th. His team is a real pain because they are fast, and they've got Rey, and they've got the double taunt, and it's an absolute nightmare to deal with once it gets going. So I have to run an additional druid and try not to try not to. My brain just went boom for a couple of seconds there. Got to run an additional droid and try not to mess up your kill on Rey. But then Akbar takes away the dodge, so you've got more reliable chance to kill Rey. All right. Well, look, we've done some Galactic War, done some Arena. There's not much to do really. We've done all my. I think droids hate my fives. Yeah, I don't like fighting against fives. Luckily with JE, you don't trigger him, and RG can stun him, and then you can just wail away on him. RG really was what made dealing with fives possible. Before that, fives could take out my entire droids team on his own. Sometimes it was the worst. But then with the when they fixed the speed down bug and I got RG, he became less of a real threat. And I think that was reflected a lot in the arena because you really don't see him around very much anymore. It's just Rey. That's an interesting one up in first there, huh? Talking about good stuff teams. This is I spent 2,000 US dollars and built a team out of all the good things in the game. Team. But look what rank they're in. It's interesting. Solid PR's team is a little bit kooky. Bit more Rey. It's pretty much the same thing I just fought. I'm interested for what happens in the future because, as you can see, Arena, a little bit dull. These could all be the same team, to be honest. As fat as we're in. There's a solitary droid in the wilderness. A sea of Bens and Phasmas and Bens and Phasmas. And a couple of Dooku's. Oh, this guy's team is cool. Look at that. That is someone who likes their droids. Droid name. Oh, sorry, droids. Clones. We've got some recruiting going on here in the chat. Yeah, this guy likes his clones. What an interesting team. Even his name is a clone name. That team's not fun to play. I'll be honest. I'm surprised it's so low down in the arena rankings. It's a pretty tough team. But anyway, I'm just flicking through my arena stuff. I'm clearly run out of things to do. I could do another Galactic War, but one's enough for one stream. And I should probably start getting ready to take myself out and face this beautiful day that's going on out this window behind me. So guys, thanks for joining in the stream. We're going to record tonight. If you've got any suggestions, drop them into this video once this go live. This video will be rewatchable. You can drop any questions you've got for the show tonight. Our theme is going to be on the scoundrels. We're going to be looking at all the scoundrels and deciding which ones we think are going to have some heft in the future, which ones are going to pull through and do some real damage, and which ones might stay buried in the shadows. We're going to look at some of the new scoundrels, some of the old ones, what kind of team builds we think might be fun, and probably come to the conclusion that it'll still be just a sea of Bens and Reys. Hope not. But thanks for joining. Thanks everyone in the chat, and see you in about 24 hours.